Hello everyone, this is Ada. Now I'm going to present my project plan to you. My project title is The Impact of Parent-Infant Interactions in Early Motor Development, a case study of Hong Kong infant. In this presentation, I'll go through the amendment that I have made, the definitions of parent-infant interaction and early motor development in this case, literature review, research gaps, research questions, methods, strengths, limitations, and timeline. Amendment made. As for my previous project title, it was too conformative, so now I've amended it and changed it to The Impact of Parent-Infant Interaction in Early Motor Development, a case study of Hong Kong infant. For the sample size, before I planned to use only one single case. However, I found that it is very difficult to find out a correlation between parent-infant interaction and early motor development by using one case. Therefore, now I plan to recruit multiple cases instead. And these also affect my data collecting methods. Before, I planned to use questionnaire, observation, and documentation. However, for the multiple cases that I recruit is not within a specific playgroup setting, which means that if I really want to do observation, then I will have to go to individual families to observe, and which I found that it's quite impossible to do that. And therefore, it's very difficult for me to do documentation such as videotaping. Therefore, now I plan to use questionnaire and interview instead. For the measuring scale, before I planned to use a Western motor development scale. However, for my project, it's focusing on the Hong Kong context, so now I plan to use a local scale. Data analysis plan. Before, my plan is not in details and no specific data analysis tools is being used. And now I'm going to plan it more detailed and specific tools are being used. Definitions. In this study, parent-infant interaction is defined as the parenting style and parental involvement. Early is defined as the 8 to 16 months development, and motor development defined as both fine motor and gross motor development. Literature review. So why I choose to study infant? Referring to different researchers, 0 to 3 years old is examined to be the critical period of the brain, social, physical, and psychological development. The development within this period is so inconsistent that explains why human beings are unique. Also, understanding more about the aforementioned aspects will help to develop the child in later life. Why study motor development? According to Buckers and friends, different aspects of development interfere one another. However, motor development is seen to be an effective issue in infancy development. Other researchers also support that locomotion allows young children to investigate the world and surrounding environment and facilitates the growth of other developmental domains such as cognitive development, perceptual development, and the ability in understanding objects' properties. In 2010, the Department of Health Hong Kong SAR found that 5% of the school-age children in Hong Kong are diagnosed as having developmental coordination disorder. This disorder leads to significant interference with academic achievements and activities of daily living. The DCD usually coexists with different developmental problems such as ADHD and dyslexia. Furthermore, research confirmed that language developmental problems and motor developmental problems are interrelated. So, why study parent-infant interaction? It is believed that there are two major factors affecting early motor development. One is the internal factors, the other one is the external factors. Internal factors include genetic makeup, gender, height and weight, while external factors include nutrition, social and cultural beliefs, and parental involvement. However, several researchers found that there is no significant relationship between genetic makeup, gender, height and weight, and early motor development. While researchers support that there is a positive correlation between consistent sufficient supply of iron and zinc and infant motor development. They also support that social and cultural factors are examined as the major issues affecting the gross motor performance in early child development. Furthermore, a lot of researchers found that a quality involvement of the significant person always displays positive impact to the growth and development of the young children. Last but not least, Winnicott, the psychiatrist, raises that there is no such thing as a baby. If you set out to describe a baby, you will find that you are describing a baby and someone. A baby cannot exist alone, but is essentially part of a relationship, and it shows that how important parent-infant interaction is. Research gaps. Limited research has been done based on the Hong Kong context regarding the relationship between parent-infant interaction and infant motor development, and at the same time, the relationship between parent-infant interaction and infants' gender differences. And here comes to my research questions. Are there any relationship between parent-infant interaction and early motor development in Hong Kong? If yes, what are the relationships? Are there any relationship between parent-infant interaction and infants' gender differences in Hong Kong, which means that will our parenting style be affected according to the gender of the infants? Participants. In this study, there are two major groups of participants. One is the infants, the other one is the caregiver, the mother. 5 infant boys and 5 infant girls aged around 18 months will be recruited in this study, as my project focuses on 8 to 16 months development. So I just want to increase the accuracy of my data collection. So that's why I focus on the 18 months old rather than those who are already 2, 3, or 4. And I also aim to look at the differences between parenting style and the gender differences of infants. Besides, mothers of the infants are being recruited also, and I aim to recruit non-working mothers because I want to minimize the variation between different caregivers such as grandmother, grandpa, or nannies. Data collection. There are 2 major methods in my research for data collection. One is questionnaire, the other one is interview. Questionnaires. I will send out questionnaires to mothers in assessing their parent styles and their infant motor development pace. And for the interview, I will do individual interview with each mother. Questions such as mothers and infants' backgrounds, child-rearing philosophies, and how often do they bring their child for indoor and outdoor activities will be asked. Assessment tools. For assessing the parenting style, I'll use the parenting style questionnaire, which is established by Comprehensive Psychological Assessment Center in 2013. This set of questionnaire is a 6-point scale one with 30 questions. And for the infant motor development, I'll adopt the Child Development 5 and 6, which is established by the Department of Health of Hong Kong SAR in 2011. Data analysis. I'll use descriptive analysis to check out if there is a consistency between data collected through interview and questionnaires. ANOVA is also used to compare the data collected and find out the correlations between variables. Strength of these studies. If it is found that there is a positive correlation between parent-infant interaction and early motor development, then it is believed that it will encourage further study regarding this topic. And also, it will encourage parent-infant interaction to minimize the percentage of children being diagnosed as having developmental coordination disorder. Limitations. As for my research, I only recruit 10 infants, which means the findings will not be representative enough. And also, for the data collection method, I use self-reported data, which means that findings will also have biases and is not reliable. Mothers will have biases in assessing their parenting style and their child development pace, and that means this finding can be subjective rather than objective.